So Dave Ramsey, we were talking about this earlier when we got on on set, but prior we started recording. My opinion of Dave is, so there's a lot of different types of people. Entrepreneurs by and large are they don't like being put in boxes, right? They don't like repetitive things as far as, I could never go in and be an employee to someone else because every time I did, I tried to solve problems. Like I went in and they wanted me to put the square peg into the square hole, and I'm questioning the whole process, right?
Right.
And the moment I solve that problem, I want to solve a different problem. And I don't like being in this office because I can do, you want me to sell? I can do that. I can sell your entire month's goal in a week. Let me do that, and then I want to go do something else. I want to solve a different problem. Like I feel like that's the issue. And if you're entrepreneurial, I don't think that some of Dave's principles are going to resonate with you, but I don't think that's who Dave's target market is. His target market is teaching people to become millionaires, and everything he says is accurate as far as with the context of, if you want to live debt-free, all the benefits of living debt-free, I think, as far as the peace of mind and can you attain a millionaire status, and 98% of the millionaires we surveyed did it this way. I agree those things are all true. That doesn't make them the only way.
It's more of a retirement program.
It is. It's a long-term, like he says he wants to get rich for sure, right? Like that's
I don't even know. I just know who Dave
Ramsey is. Well, that's one of his things. He's like, if you do it this way, you're for sure going to get rich. And I don't. Rich is relative. It's subjective. But I think he's right. And if you're working the 9 to 5, you're working for corporate America, his principles can lead to peace of mind and less stress. However, if you thrive in stressful environments, right, and you like to juggle, and you can take all that pressure, and you can handle mitigating personalities, and you can problem solve with the best of them, I feel like the more of those things that become present, his principles don't necessarily apply. It doesn't make them wrong. It's just a different way. It's like saying,
if you were hiring in your business, would you want an employee like you, or would you?
No, no, you don't. No. You hire to your weaknesses. First of all, you need to hire to complement yourself. But secondly, from that, if I need a square peg put in a square hole, I have to hire somebody that does that.
Okay.
Right, like you hire, like when you hire the janitor, you don't need the janitor knowing how to run the board meetings, right? I need the janitor to take pride and care, and he's very important, by the way. But I need him to be passionate about what he does.
Right.
And some people don't want, and this is not to say a janitor doesn't. Some people don't want the stress. Like they want to go. I know many people. Many of them work for us that we have given opportunities to own things and have said no. They want to shut it off when they're done. They want to be done. They don't want to talk on the phone after hours. They don't want the stress. They don't want the curveball.
They want to put in their hours, get their check, go home.
Exactly. They have different things that are important to them in their life, and they value life differently. That's perfectly fine.
That's part of managing people, right? Is finding
100%.
out what they want.
I need to figure out what motivates you. Like my job is not to make you rich. My job is to figure out what motivates you.
What you love to do.
What you love to do, what you're passionate about, and utilize that so that we both so that we both get to the finish line. So if your idea of the finish line is not wealth, the accumulation of money, then me trying to motivate you that way does nothing, right?
When I used to...
maybe you want to spend time with your family or your kids. You want more time off. Maybe you want vacations, or like maybe these are other things you want, but you want the peace of mind. Like that's the way I got to motivate you. I got to figure out which carrot to use.
My last real job I had a bunch of employees, and it used to make me crazy that they didn't want the success of the company the way I did. And it used to just blow my mind that they wouldn't come in and just fucking want it every day. And then the owner of the company said, hey, look, your job is to manage these people and figure out what they do want. To expect them to want the same things you want is silly. Yeah. Everybody wants different things.
Yeah. I think Dave's amazing. Honestly. I really do. And some of his principles, many of his principles, I like a lot. I think the logic behind them is very important as well. However, if you look at, let's just step aside from that for just a second and go, the government prints money. It's not a political statement. Like literally it prints money. Money is only worth something. It's an exchange of value. You give me time, I give you pieces of paper in exchange. It has a value because we perceive that it has a value. And today there's 140% more cash in circulation than there was a year ago, right? So if you're a saver, Robert Kiyosaki says savers are losers. So you were saying who's the opposite of Dave Ramsey? They're friends, by the way.
Right.
So Robert Kiyosaki says savers are loser, and he's never been more accurate. And any time he wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that's what he was famous
Yes,
for.
okay.
He's never been more accurate at any time than since he's written that than he is today. Because literally, if you have a savings account, the buying power of that money is less today than it was, a year ago.
Yeah.
It's decreased by what, 9%,
I'm
right?
one of those.
So yeah,
Not 9%, right? Is what you said?
Well, right now, so there's a couple of different numbers. So the CPI, the Consumer Price Index numbers just came out, and they said that there was a 5%. But the business one that came out following that says 9%. So what that really means is if you had $1 million saved, just since the most recent update, and you're a consumer, your million only has the buying power of $950,000. So you just lost $50,000 like that. And if you're a business, it has the buying power of $910,000, right? So you lost $90,000. But the kicker is that if the cost to the business went up, which it did, that means the cost to the consumer is getting ready to go up. So we have more inflation coming. And it's not going to jump from 5 to 9 because it's an average. It'll skew up, right? And so our dollars are built to deflate. I think usually at 2% to 3% per year. They're designed to go down in value over time. That's the way the system was made. That's not a problem. That's by design.
I think it's a problem. But
yeah, well, it's not a problem as in the way we've been running the country because it was expected, right? 5, 6, and 7s and 9% inflation was never expected.
It's a problem
right?
if you don't understand it.
It's definitely a problem if you don't understand it. So on some level, because you're subject to it, you can be saving diligently, and you can't outsave what they can print.
I think it's a problem either way.
Yeah.
My reason is because I think it still allows a few people to have a lot of power.
Yeah.
Because there's never going to be enough money. The way the system currently is structured,
Yeah.
the way the currency is currently
Creates
structured.
winners and losers.
Yeah, there's never going to be enough money.
So if we're
there's
gonna-
only it's not necessarily a finite pool of money because it does grow with the economy as new businesses are developed and the economy grows. The money does increase, but there's still never going to be enough of it the way it works right now. We need to base the value of money on different things other than just the things that it's based on now. Like you need to account for the value of the individuals in the society.
Talk about that. If we're going to base
let him finish his thing. And
Sure.
Yeah, well, it's to tie into that too. But like if you think about it, so there's another problem is I can create money. A bank right now, let's say you put $100,000 in the bank can loan out $1 million.
Yeah.
It's 10 to 1 of what they have on reserve. And actually under Biden, it's not Biden's fault, but under Biden, because of the pandemic, they came up with a thing saying you could lend 10 to 1, you could lend the money regardless of having the $100,000 on reserve, you could lend $1 million as long as the person was creditworthy, and they made a special exception because of what was going on. So literally, money is printed two ways. One,
it's created out of thin air.
It's created two ways. One way it's printed, which they did 140% more cash in circulation. The other way it's created through loans.
But 95% of our money is digital, right?
Yeah. So we go to the bank. So imagine this for a second. Like let's say the four of us, literally, we had $100,000 each. We'll count Jesse. We'll give him some money. The five of us. So Jesse's got $100,000. We get $500,000. We all say, you know what, guys, we're gonna pull together and work this thing together. We're gonna take all $500,000 to the bank. The bank is gonna take our $500,000, and they're gonna loan $5 million.
They're gonna loan money that doesn't exist.
They're gonna
at
loan
interest.
They're gonna loan.
Well, it does exist then.
Right. Yeah. The moment they loan it exists. So now $500,000 on reserve turns into $5 million they loan. Right. They take that $5 million and they loan it out in the world. So imagine that the gentleman that's over here that's here with us tonight, let's say that the bank gives him $5 million and he goes out and he spends that $5 million. He just took real cash and spent it out in the world. $5 million that doesn't exist. Right. Remember, only $500,000 existed. Right? Like literally money is being created and you're trying to save it.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So you need to learn the rules of the game and start playing and stop complaining about the outcome, because until they change it, this is this game we're stuck in.
That's how it works, yeah.
Right? So that's why with Dave Ramsey, the only point, and again, I'm a big fan. I'm going to his events. He's probably going to never watch this, but if he did watch it, he's going to cancel my membership. But the only point that I disagree in is that he's not taking into account the way the whole system operates.